So let's say there's like a lead gen business.
Yeah.
They've just started a channel. What should they be doing before they even get to the monetization stage, right?
Well, so they are helping other people generate leads for their business.
So let's say they do. We've got a mutual friend, right? Facebook ad lead gen. How do you start a YouTube channel for that to get B2B leads?
Well, the first thing I'd do is not try and grow a YouTube channel. I'd just put content on YouTube, and then I'd take distribution out of YouTube hands. Because the Facebook ad space is quite competitive. So like Ben Heath sits at the top, sucking up everyone's impressions. And the way YouTube works is you're competing against everyone else your viewers could watch. YouTube's going to push the content that gets the best reaction. So you're going to be new. That ain't going to be you. And you have to accept that you're only going to get views until you're better than Ben Heath in this niche who gets all the views. So the first thing I do is practice. Just think, forget the views. I'm going to make
get good at
content that's useful. But then I'm going to, when a new lead inquires to our business, I'm going to put it in front of them. Say, oh, here's a video on it. Please watch it.
Yeah, okay.
And that's actually really powerful. Anyone who runs ads, they just need a YouTube channel for people to discover, and the ad conversions shoot up a ton because people see there's value and use.
Like a resume.
Yeah. So you have someone inquire, oh, please watch this video. I'll watch this one. Create a playlist. And that's really good for helping businesses convert. And then it's just a game of, firstly, you've got to make sure you stay positioned. So this is what everyone gets wrong. So the Facebook ads guy, traditionally in the business niches, someone's like, well, I've made a lot of money. I just want to talk about business. It's like, well, no, stick to Facebook ads. Well, no, I can talk about business, can't I? And other stuff. Well, you can't because Hormozi's done 100 million in a day. So don't be the business guy. I'm going to be the business guy. All right. And then they're like, I'm not getting any views. I'm like, yeah, because no one cares about you when Hormozi's sucking up all the impressions. Be the Facebook guy. You're really good at that. So you want to stay in your lane, and then you want to put a different spin on it. So there's going to be 10 channels all talking about Andromeda's Facebook update. If you're going to compete with them, you've got to put the new take on it, because someone's going to watch one video and get all the information, then another and go, I already know this. Or I already know this.
Is the new take entertainment or different information?
The new take is the same information, but in a way that feels new.
Does that mean packaged differently?
No, the way that it's presented. So it's very hard to give new information, especially in the business space, because nothing's changed. The technology has changed, but the fundamentals are pretty much the same as they've been for the last forever, right? So everyone's just repeating themselves, and this is what happens in most niches. We run out of new things. So the only thing that can feel new is the way that you explain it. That's where storytelling comes in. Talking about, oh, I helped this client get this result. So, for example, if I was going to make a video on how to use Facebook's new conversion thingy-mablib to make you more money, very technical, very dull. If I turn around and made a video that was like how I took someone 10K a month, 100K a month on Facebook, and then gave them the same information package as a story, easier to digest. It's new because the story is new. No one's heard that story before.
Yeah.
So it's packaged up in a way where people will watch it and it will sink in. And then what happens is, people don't remember every single thing in a video. If you give like a long-ass tutorial, they're not going to remember 50 steps. But they'll remember a story, and that's the thing they walk off with. So you make the impact. So you kind of want to get good at working out, how do I simplify? How do I come up with frameworks, stories, metaphors, demonstrations that make my information feel unique? And this is kind of the problem with YouTube in general, is a lot of people start it and they don't realize that. Okay, this is probably the best example I can give. We had a guy join our program and he got allowed in because you have to have an offer and you have to have like expertise and you have to have made content before. And they wanted to do a channel which was basically growing businesses online. So he puts out a few videos and it's getting like 3 views. And he's like, Ed, what the hell's going on? And I was like, oh man, this is bad. I clicked play on it and I thought, something's not right here. Like, I can tell why this is getting 3 views. I said to him, we need to use more stories of your client wins and how you've grown businesses online. Oh, I've never done that. What do you mean? And he said, I said, well, how did you get in? Like, you need a business and an offer. He's like, well, we made an offer before we came in. So they'd never sold anything online. They had an offer teaching to make money online.
Yeah.
The channel, this person wasn't scammy. They generally just didn't see the issue. So I said, look, like, I think I'm going to have to refund you. Like, I don't think I can help.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, I want to keep going. So he keeps going. He's getting like 20 views a video.
Were they good videos?
A beginner would look at them and wouldn't see a problem. I could see it. There wasn't the difference between someone who has lived and breathed something for 10 years
Yeah.
and someone who hasn't is I can instantly tell, right? So eventually I say to this guy, like, it's not going to happen.
Hold on, just to be clear, you could tell that he didn't know his stuff, or you could tell because you've been doing this for 10 years?
I can spot everyone can spot someone who's made a video.
Yeah.
Who teaches, and it often looks effortless. Like Daniel Pink, for example, he's blowing up on YouTube right now. He's written 6 books. He's been teaching the same thing for 20, 30 years. So his content is just very good because he knows how to do it, right?
Yeah.
He's an expert. So he's come in and I said, look, I think we need to stop, right? And then he said, oh man, I just want to talk about growing businesses. And I'm like, well, what have you done in the past? Because I teach everyone to build their channel around their backstory.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, I was a lawyer and then I made $14 million from auto body repair. And I was like, what? Like, what? He's like, yeah, I had an auto repair company, a few $1 million a year. I was like, well, that's insane. That's your channel. And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, and I was like, do that. So he did it. The first few videos get off to a slow start. Messages, 32,000 views. People joining his waiting list. Next one, like 20,000 views. I clicked play on one of his videos and watched the whole thing. And as soon as I hit play, he just completely got lost in his information because he explained everything like an expert who'd been doing it.
Oh, I see. So easy.
His information was $14 million worth because not only does he know stuff, that's one thing. You then have to know how to communicate it.
Right.
And you only get good at communicating by teaching people over and over and over again and doing it. So now I was like, oh, this guy's channel is probably going to make him a ton because he's gone from being literally the bottom of the make money online space to the top of another niche. And that's the big issue with YouTube is a lot of people come in and they don't realize they are up against world-class experts.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, their channel's growing so quick. And it's like, yeah, because they put in 20 years of work already and you've just started.
Yeah.
So you really have to kind of accept if you're not like been doing something for 5 or 10 years, you don't have the stories basically to get the success that these other people do. So if you try and get into YouTube and you're like, I'm just going to knock up a few bullet points and then talk, people just talk absolute nonsense. There's no structure.
Yeah.
They go talking about this point and then they're talking about this point like 5 miles down the road and then they go back and it just confuses people. And they go, oh, what's going on? I'm not growing. I did the thumbnail good. And it's like, yeah, but what came out your mouth was awful. Like, we've got to fix it. So there's all these bottlenecks, and I think that's the one thing AI is not going to fix. Yeah. Is it will have the information, but it won't have necessarily the 20 years worth of
the storytelling and the authenticity is missing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the kind of example of the Facebook ads kind of business and how you start that YouTube. All of this stuff is so much more important than thumbnail, title, and kind of the packaging, right?
It's a bit tricky because the thumbnail title is technically the most important bit until someone's clicked it, and then the video is the most important bit. So it's like you have the most important thing is positioning. So this is basically making sure that when you put a video out, when you've got viewers, YouTube tests it with them first. If you're making stuff they're not interested in, they're not going to come back. And from a business point of view, bringing people back is profitable because that's how you warm them up and turn into clients. So you need to position every video so it's of interest to a type of person so that they keep coming back. And then if YouTube pushes it to more people like them, the person discovers your channel and goes, wow, every video is super relevant to me. I love it. And then they binge and then more people get to see it. Then you got to come up with a thumbnail and title, which is not just coming up with a thumbnail and title. A thumbnail and title is working out, how do I take an idea and make it interesting? So how to make Facebook ads. That's one video. Is that as interesting as I spent $3 million on ads and learned this? You have to work out, do people like curiosity-based titles? Do they like more like how to do this titles? And then you've got to come up with a thumbnail that works with the title.
Does that vary a ton between niche?
Yeah.
It does.
I didn't realize until the last, because I've worked with so many niches now, only in the last 18 months, I've got a massive bird's eye view.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is very different across niches. I always thought it was very similar. It might have changed. 2023 was very clickbaity, very curiosity-based, very vague titles like how to change your life in 90 days, 5 mistakes that will do, fix stop something from working, right? These titles used to blow up. Now no one clicks them. They're too
Oh,
vague.
so it's like time-based as well.
Yeah, so you have the niches have different people, and then the trend of YouTube as well.
Yeah,
Because I'm looking at people, and they're like, "Oh, I put this thumbnail and title on. Why didn't it get any views? It was based on another video. It got 2 million." I was like, "Well, that's like me wearing a Von Dutch hat. Like, the times have gone, right?"
Still cool, still cool.
So you have these niche sways, and then you have the meta, the trend. So you need to know what is relevant for your audience. And then the thumbnail and title, you get the click, and then you got to hook them with the intro. And this is the problem. So the thumbnail, title, and intro are the same thing. What happens when someone sees a thumbnail and title is their brain scans instantly for, am I going to get this? And most people will start with a hook that feels like it has nothing to do with what they clicked on. So the viewer's like, well, and then they'll set up the value of the video to come. And it's like, well, that's not really what I wanted from the video. So I get everyone to plan their intro based around just 3 questions they think their viewer would have looking at their thumbnail and title.
Okay.
And it stops you from making an intro that basically is wildly different from what people expect.
So you come up with 3 questions based on the thumbnail and title.
Yeah.
And then how do you work that into your hook or your intro?
So we have a setup, right? So the intro is split into 3 parts. You have a hook, then you set up the problem the viewer has very quickly, and then you set up the value of the video, which is basically going to solve the problem. And I'll usually set up 3 things. So this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the ads. I'm going to show you a trick that's going to double them. I'm going to show you this and that. Those 3 things I set up are usually the answers to the questions I believe my viewer has when they click on a video.
How long is that whole intro do you try to keep it into?
Try and keep it under 20 seconds.
Yeah, wow.
I might only do one thing, but if you can try and second guess what they care about, and then you just say, I'm going to give you that, they'll stick around.
Yeah.
But people are very bad at that.
Yeah, that formula, I remember hearing you talk about that, like the middle thing is kind of like you paint the dream scenario. If you do this, it'll let you do this. It just keeps you very focused, because when there is a lot of information, it's something to have that template, it's easy to drift.
Yeah.
Because it is exciting stuff, but you got to keep so compact for that intro, I think. That's helpful formula.
That's kind of the next part of the pipe you have to unblock, right? Is the intro. So that after the click, that becomes the next important thing. And then after that, the structure of the content is the most important thing. So what tends to happen is someone will set up 3 things in an intro. I'm going to teach you this, 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 and this. And then they just start talking. And the viewer's going, which bit is it? Which one of the 3 things are you talking about, right? So then the viewer goes, get to the point. Or what they do is they pay off the lesson straight away. So they might say, I'm going to show you how to double your Facebook ads now. And they start off by going, just push that button, it'll double your ads. Right, let me tell you about a story of time I used this. And people are like, well, I don't need the story, you just told me the information, right? Get to the point. So you have to then learn how to structure information in a specific way that hooks the viewer, lets them know where they are in the video. Then it needs to give them the simplest explanation possible, which is usually a story, so that the viewer goes, oh, I get the problem is solved, and it sounds like the sort of thing that I could solve myself, keeps them inspired. And then you give them the detail. And then once you finish that, you go, right, now I'm going to show you the second thing I promised. And you repeat this process over and over again.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of hard to do, because sometimes it can feel like you're just dragging your feet before you give them the good stuff. You know what I mean?
you do it quick. But the thing is, you also have to realize, like, people aren't paying attention a lot of the time. So if you don't keep constantly reminding people what's coming next, they forget.
Yeah.
And there's so many YouTube videos I watch, and I'm like, you have literally not told me what you're going to tell me.
Yeah.
Why would I listen? It
Yeah.
has to have a point. It's like a story that doesn't have a beginning. You don't know what you're watching.